Arif, so the next question is syarat-syarat taklid ni selalunya dimasukkan dalam kontrak semasa nikah kan, dalam the paperwork, the can the bride or her father extend the grounds for taklid?
Lisa, I've been looking with it. There is no specific provision. Okay, what we have under Section 22. I remember last time, Liza, I'm not sure. I think last time we used to have specific provision known as additional taklid. So additional taklid. What we have currently, you remember, whenever after the solemnization of the marriage, the husband will pronounce what is known as statutory taklid. Yang I sebut tadi tu, yang suami janji tak tinggalkan lebih 4 bulan, and there is also a provision that allows for the parties, especially the wali and also the bride, or to stipulate additional condition. I think that particular provision needs to be reinstated, Riza.
Okay.
So that we can have a clear provision. Okay, we can have a clear provision allowing the parties to add other conditions, because kita tahulah sebab marriage kan, contract ni kan is a contract. So the parties should be given liberty, freedom from the very beginning to stipulate, okay, dia punya conditions before they enter into marriage. So apart from the statutory taklid, I think the parties should be given freedom and liberty to discuss, to add conditions what they feel in order to protect, especially I think the conditions are very important, especially for the bride, Aisha, so that they have something to rely on if anything happens. So it's more protection for the bride. Okay.
Yes, inshallah. Maybe this is something that we can take up and propose for a change in the law and war-warkan semua ni supaya semua yang all the interested parties knows about this, ya Mak Arif. We have to go back to something a little bit dry. Tadi yang Arif cakap tentang fasah kan, kalau the wife nak wish to divorce because maybe abuse and all that. Jadi dalam konteks pandemik, antara kebolehan mahkamah syariah ni adalah membuka ruang bagi pemfailan kes khususnya dalam kes keganasan rumah tangga. Jadi bagaimana mahkamah syariah memainkan peranan dalam konteks mempercepatkan proses fasah dalam konteks kes keganasan rumah tangga, yang Arif?
Aisyah, I think what happened kan, Aisyah, it was during the first week of MCO, we got so many complaints, and we got I think whether the civil or the Sharia court, a lot of, I think 3 weeks after the first MCO, kita dengar banyak kes-kes yang melibatkan keganasan, domestic violence, and I think the complaints that we received, Aisyah, we submitted to MKN. This is one of the important factors that MKN allow the Sharia courts to operate, because we told them, MKN, that is proven when we open, kita buka talian pertanyaan ni kan, Isha, kita dengar banyak aduan berkaitan keganasan rumah tangga, because of the fact that we reckon this is a very important that Sharia court needs to address, and it becomes one of the important reason why we thought that we have to open Sharia court, kena buka untuk pastikan mereka-mereka yang menjadi mangsa dalam keganasan rumah tangga ni, especially anak-anak dan juga isteri ni, boleh mendapat access to justice. Dan bila kita letak SOP dengan MKN tu, isu berkaitan dengan keganasan ni is one of the issue that we consider as urgent cases, Aisyah. Remember when I told you about the SOP, kita nak strike the balance, tak kalau kes-kes tu tak berapa penting sangat kan, dan kita boleh postpone dia, tapi kes yang penting macam isu domestic violence ni, isu nafkah, especially hak jagaan anak, okay, all these issues need to be addressed urgently. So back to your question, Aisyah, yang saya sebutkan tadi itulah, beginning of April bila kita dapat kebenaran daripada MKN tu, kita memang dah address isu tersebut dan kita meraihkan dan membenarkan pemfailan kes-kes, dan kita keluarkan interim injunctions, kalau ada permohonan ex parte yang melibatkan keganasan rumah tangga ni, kita keluarkan injunksi terhadap suami ataupun bapa yang melakukan keganasan rumah tangga tersebut, dan kita kita benarkan untuk sama ada injunksi yang dikeluarkan untuk mengeluarkan suami itu semasa PKP daripada rumah kelamin tersebut. So these are the things, Aisyah, that we've been doing, and we reckon the fact domestic violence ni is happening during MCO ni, dan kita and that's the very reason why I told you that we submitted to MKN to allow Shariah courts to operate.
Yeah, Arif, can we let's move on to, let's just say that the husband has akad talak and the husband and wife are sure that memang talak jatuh, tetapi sebelum mereka dapat ke mahkamah untuk mengesahkan talak tersebut, apakah langkah-langkah yang boleh diambil untuk for the protection of the children and the maintenance? Ya, Arif.
Okay, before that kan Liza, you remember tak when by extension mungkin ada kes di mana pihak-pihak kata before Shariah court can proceed to determine whether the talak has actually affected or not, maybe 100 trial would lapse. They cannot revoke the marriage because iddah tu dah 100 trial, because you file the case in Shariah court, the court will not be able to hear the case immediately. So maybe 100 days will lapse and the husband will not have a chance to revoke it. Okay, that's the reason I told and the parties, what the parties need to do, if both parties agree to revoke, untuk rujuk semula, then what they need to go is they go to pejabat agama. Remember I told you that whenever both parties agree to revoke the divorce, then they go to pejabat agama and register dia punya rujuk tu di sana. Tak apalah kalau if the Shariah court decides divorce tu is not effective, then tak apalah. Kalau if the court decide the divorce is effective, the parties have already revoked. Okay, itu berkaitan dengan revocation when while waiting for the Shariah courts to determine the effectiveness of the divorce. Okay, your question tadi tu apa relief tentang anak-anak ni? You see, parties the right of the children to maintenance nafkah, we got to remember the children are entitled and the fathers are obligated to provide maintenance to the children whether with court order or without court order. Okay, Liza? I mean, this is what we need to understand as husband and also as father, we are obligated, by Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala to provide nafkah to the children. That's very clear. Now, next question is there is a misunderstanding, Liza, among the parties that they can only claim for children maintenance after divorce, which is not true. The law under Section 72 gives the mother and the children right claim maintenance or nafkah during the subsistence of the marriage or after divorce. Whenever there is neglect on the part of the father, then the parties, the mother especially, can file an application on behalf of the children to impose, to get an order from the court to impose an order. Also for the areas of maintenance. So in other words, they don't have to wait until the court settle the issue of divorce, until the court has confirmed, whether the divorce has actually taken place or not. It is, the law says during the subsistence of the marriage, when there is a neglect on the part of the husband, then the wife, the children are still entitled to claim for.
So it's like an interim order. It's like an interim order.
Interim too is another thing, Liza. Under Section 71, while waiting for the court to pending the dissolution of the marriage, parties can claim for spousal maintenance or children maintenance. That is clearly provided under Section 71. This is what we call an interim maintenance. Cuma yang saya sebutkan tadi tu, Liza, orang salah faham kadang-kadang, it's not interim tau. Yang ni masa dalam tempoh perkahwinan. Dalam tempoh perkahwinan, bapa tu dia tak bagi nafkah pada anak. Kebanyakan kita faham, dia kata no, nak kena tunggu cerai dulu baru boleh mohon nafkah untuk anak. Tak. Dia dalam tempoh perkahwinan tersebut saja, bila berlaku kegagalan bapa beri nafkah, hak tu dah boleh mohon di mahkamah syariah. Yang tadi tu yang Liza sebut interim tadi tu pending dissolution of marriage. Mana kuat boleh keluarkan interim maintenance order.
Okay, yang Mak Arif dah tengok dah signs of the evening deepening, you taking off your glasses and all that. I think that we are going to wear you out. So we cannot resist one question from the chat. If the husband declared himself as bujang, we'll end with this question, Yang Mak Arif. If the husband declared himself as bujang or single in any condition or status. What is the effect? He said, no, I'm bujang, I'm single. Does it, and actually married, of course, is it considered as talak?
Aisyah, remember, for as long as the husband has not used the word cerai or talak, okay, it falls under the second category. So whatever, kadang-kadang kan Aisyah Liza, there are cases where the husband says, oh Aminah, kamu keluar balik ke rumah mak bapak kamu. Does that amount to cerai ataupun tidak? Okay, that falls under that category of kinayah. Okay, jadi kan dia kata kalau dia bujang ke apa dan sebagainya. So these are the areas that fall under the category of kinayah. Then wife needs to file an application in court, and the husband will then be compelled to state first whether he agrees or not that he has actually said or claimed or alleged to be bujang, bachelor. Okay, and secondly, if he agrees, okay, to the allegation, yes, to the fact that he has actually alleged that he's still bachelor, then court will ask the second question, at the point of saying that you are bachelor, did you actually mean that you want to divorce your wife? Itu yang the court will ask the husband. And again, itulah Aisyah, sama ada intention tadi tu dalam suami tadi tu, then we use yamin. Okay, sumpah tadi tu, mere denial of the husband will not be sufficient. It has to be tied up with the yamin tadi tu. So in order to ensure the actual niyah of the husband.
Thank you very much, Yang Amat. I think if anything, what we've taken away from our session with you today, which is almost like a lecture, I think we need to call you back for a second part because so many more questions coming. Yeah. Basically, we learn, not just what are our rights. We really need to know what are our obligations. So before we think about uttering anything, sebelum nak lafaz, nak cakap apa-apa, mesti pastikanlah semua kondisi itu, all the conditions will fulfill. So many things coming in through the chat, the context of the pandemic, semua tu dah ada court order anak-anak dekat sebelah sana, macam mana to follow SOP and then what's in best interest of the child. I don't think we can cover everything, there's so much. Yes. So we'll see about how we can hopefully call you back, inshallah, with a part 2. I think we have a lot more questions to ask. I'm sorry, dear audience, that we are not able to cover as much as we really like to. So I think we would like to bid you a warm evening and have a good rest. Everybody stay safe. From Liza and I from Association of Women Lawyers Malaysia, with our wish of thanks to Yang Ma'arif, Dr. Setia, Dr. Haji Muhammad Naim. Thank you very much for your evening, spending your time during this evening with us. We hope to see all of you again someday. Any last words? Last words, Yang Ma'arif, if you'd like to have any point of advice to us during this pandemic.
Okay. Aisyah, first of all, wish to thank again Association of Women Lawyers for your kind invitation. I'm really sorry if I had said something that hurts anyone. I just wish that, you see, this pandemic is part and parcel. In Islam, Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has clearly mentioned in the Quran in Surah Al-Mulk, "Allazi khalaqal mauta wal hayata liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala." This pandemic is one of the tests by God. Who among us is the best? So hopefully, knowing the fact that this pandemic is a real challenge for us, and as far as the importance of the institution of marriage and also the family itself, I think for as long as we know our rights, responsibilities, for example, especially the husband, myself, and all the husbands out there, if we really know our responsibilities, exercise them, ensuring that all the husband and wife and the children, okay, can actually work together, okay, dalam tempoh pandemik ini untuk memastikan keluarga ini berada dalam keadaan intact, bekerjasama, wa ta'awanu 'alal. So mutual assistance, mutual respect, and mutual understanding is very important. So I just hope, thank you so much, Maisha, thank you AWL for inviting me to share my knowledge and also experience. I hope that this is beneficial to all of you. And again, I'm sorry if there is any shortcoming on my part. And of course, to all the participants here, thank you for your time to listen, mendengar daripada saya. Minta maaf lah Aisyah, kita dekat mahkamah ni I seldom speak. Kita jarang bercakap. Kita dengar dan kemudian kita buat keputusan. So I have to thank Santi for giving me the opportunity to speak. Jarang cakap panjang macam ni 1 jam setengah. Okay, kecuali aku baca judgement penghakiman. So thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Syarif.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Terima kasih banyak.
We truly
Yeah.
appreciate. Thank you.
Alhamdulillah, terima kasih.